Okay, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, popular rapper of the Good Kid, Mad City fame, if you get your first big check and you cop a gold chain before you buy a house, you're a vanity slave. In the song Vanity Slave, Mr. Lamar speaks openly about mindless consumerism. Explain 3 dangers of consumerism. 6 marks. This was an actual question, by the way. It was asked to Bachelors of Finance, Actuarial Science, and Financial Economics students on July 11 at Strathmore University. Business Ethics, that's a course. Now, watu, mnajua ni aje? In the words of Genge musician Juakali, discuss Strathmore's exams. 10 marks. Ciru Muriuki, Anita Nderu, Eddie Butita roll here. Watu, mnajua ni aje?
Consumerism.
We discuss exam.
I think this is brilliant.
Yes.
And you know, here's the thing, if you're smart enough to decipher that question, pretty much that professor gave away the answer in the question.
Right.
And it was such a brilliant way of phrasing the question. It actually shows that education is kind of moving forward. They're trying to appeal to, you know, current events as well. And I think that's great. Me, there's some questions I used to read when you're in school. Then before you finish the question, you're asleep. You're like, what is this? What is happening? You know, it would have been very easy for him to say list 3 dangers of consumerism, period.
Yes.
But when he puts it in the context of a vanity slave, kama when him smart kidogo na hukusoma, and you see that, you know, he's talking, Kendrick talks about, you know, copying a gold chain before doing what?
Before
Buying a house.
Yes.
That's consumerism right there. Whether you can pick up your pen and write some BS and you'll get those marks. That was very smart.
Well done. Well done. Aya, Butita.
Consumerism. Unajua makosa tunafanya ni kutumia watu kama Kendrick Lamar kwa exam zetu. Tuko na musicians. Explain the term wakatimba kubafu by Kenyan Maria. Tutumie hizo, lakini unajua pia muziki zetu hatuwezi kama exam. The only place ni mwisikia pesa ikitajwa. Nina mapesa kwenye kibenje. Na ndio nimepoteza walenzi nje. Weka.
No, but
Explain
they can't set exams without music.
Say not well.
Banco teach.
Pesa
utas, nigga. Okay, Anita.
So finally, all the music you guys listen to is coming in handy. So if you listen to Kendrick Lamar's album, then you must have passed that question.
Exactly.
There's no way you could have failed. Now, if only they did this back in the day when we were listening to the Spice Girls and found a way to craft those questions, we would have all been A-star students. But it's a very cool way of going about exams. First of all, it takes away the pressure you would ordinarily have. You know the way they normally say there are 5 questions. The first one is compulsory, answer another 2. You already know you're failing.
Yeah.
But then now there's, the first question is about Kendrick Lamar. I'm trying so hard not to rub his name. You know my tongue doesn't allow me to say those names.
Kendrick.
So that was pretty cool, and it's a good way to go about it. At least now the next time your parent tells you, I am not buying you an album on online or whatever, you're going to be like, Mom,
consumerism.
the first question was about Kendrick Lamar and consumerism. Yeah.
But ati songani usikiza?
Yenye nasikizanga. Unaruka, unakanyaga.
Maybe that's a sports day song.
It is a sports day.
Unaruka.
Yes, yeah, class.
Sia consumerism hapana.
Sasa ndio maana tuwezi tumia. Wimbo kama nyongwa. Explain the term suicide. Using nyongwa.
Oh God, no. What education is that? Which class is that?
What I'm trying to say is that our music inafaa kwa hiyo level tunaweza itumia pia kwa exam kama hiyo.
Unajua that is very right. That is correct.
Aya. Speaking of money, by the way, pesa utas, nigga, or should I say pesa tangoyawa? To most of you, that is just a line from Octopizo's song with Victor Masliu-Odola. But to Lisa Martinez, Banco Tuch for real. For real. Guys, I'm sorry for the rest of us who getting money is a problem. For this lady, it seems how to spend it is the issue. What are you doing with your lives? Listen, this is a picture she put up. She put up pictures, videos, kila kitu. Nyinyi mko na maoni, this is what she has to say.
I love the way you talk about me. You judge a lot. You don't know anything about me. You've never even met me. You say I was sponsored by somewhere with all the money. Can you imagine somebody, even if it's your boyfriend, trusting you with all the money, giving it to you, and then you take a video with funny? I don't get that. I'm not too lucky. I work a lot, and I get a lot. I'm in a little buff. Like, I'm not like you, Like, you think you're the only ones who can provide for.
Okay. Okay, first of
Only one who
all,
is still confused.
Ciru,
I
you
just
just
need-
want to
I wanna
translate that?
say-
What is she saying?
You know, I think that
I didn't
with
get
all
a
that
fine.
money in the bathtub, she would buy a better accent.
Oh.
That word is
Hashtag
kind of
burn.
busted.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of busted. Girl, get your life and get your
Wasichana
accent,
wapendane.
honey. Get your accent. Second of all, Larry, Anita, Butita have a few thoughts
Oh.
on the
yes.
matter.
Oh.
Rich
thoughts.
sister.
Do you have a
THOT.
thought? Do you have the same thought as I do?
I see that you have a
Anita?
thought.
Oh, yes, I do. I
Yeah.
do, actually.
Tell us about this thought.
You know, just these thoughts that I have about the manner in which these women, you know, have a few thoughts about how they get their money, yeah? And, you know, listen, if you're gonna put all that on social media, there's a Swahili, there's a Swahili saying that says, maskini akipata.
Matako hulia mbwata.
Exactly, her knees have lied all over Facebook. They have cried.
I didn't
Look
see
at
that
all
one
the
coming.
Said, Shiro. I still don't know what she
What
said
other
in that
word?
video, you guys. She
But-
spoke for a full minute and I
But
didn't
I
get a thing.
thought she was well understood.
You know, me as watching that video, I'm
No.
like, aya, manasema aje?
First of all, what happened to her face? I don't mean that in a bad way, but with all that money, I would fix that. And then number two, what is with that accent? I didn't hear a thing she said. And if you don't want people to judge your money, don't put it on social media. You
Yeah.
know how Kenyans are. So just be serious, man.
Okay.
And on the other hand, there's this thing I wanted.
Yes.
So
Get in touch, girl.
I'll get in touch.
Girl.
No. Butita, I was looking at this video thinking, magitango.
Kwanza niko na
Angoa.
point 4.
Okay, point ya kwanza.
1. Nilistock hiyo dem vizuri sana. Hakuna vile utakuwa na hiyo pesa yote na uko na sofa ya ngara. Hiyo ni wapi? Unafaa kuwa na leather seat.
Alafu tu.
Oh,
President anafaa kutuma polisi washike udem.
Eh.
Juu imagine picha ya baba yako imefunika mtu uchi.
Oh, by the way.
Anaoga. What's that? 3.
I did not see where that was going.
Ngoja, 3.
I wasn't ready.
I was not ready.
3. There is no great person mwenye aliwaipose na pesa kwa hii maisha.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King.
Yes.
We'll remember you for your achievements, not hizo mado unaeka
You
kila mahali.
better.
No, those are the people who
Nakumbukangi
die.
Wait, and there's
Nakumbuka
4.
Oh, yeah, that's
achievements.
four.
Alafu 4?
4.
Amesahau.
Flows be positive. Ndio nimesema. And Oldonyo Sabuk, Kajiado, jenga shule, nunulia watoto vitabu, weka Instagram. Tutaongea.
No, my thing is this, yeah. If you're gonna make money, make money. You know.
Yes.
But if you're gonna make money, you know, being a gardening implement,
Why? So she should not be a tool.
don't be a tool,
No,
honey.
so this is what I think.
Larry,
She
unajua
makes
pesa hiyo
the
dem.
definition of washing money real.
Yeah,
Larry,
it was
pesa hiyo dem
laundering.
unaweza
It was
pika
not
nayo.
tub.
Ati pesa hiyo demu unaweza fanya nini, Butita?
Unaweza pika nayo githeri hive, upike chai, hadi upike mayai. Pesa yangu hata chai huwezi chemsha. In fact hata kiberiti kipotea huwezi washa inapotea.
Okay.
Watu wako na pesa hapa.
Let's stick with money because Kaltum Dima Guyo, she's a former wife to Sports, Culture and Arts Cabinet Secretary Hassan Wario, and she's suing the minister for 400,000 shillings per month in maintenance. That's how much she wants. The two divorced 4 years ago and they have no children. Guyo says that at some point she supported Wario when he was studying on a scholarship in the UK. As a favor, the CS allegedly never returned and he refused to assist her pursue a law degree. She says that strained their marriage. She wants Dr. Wario to be compelled to make monthly payments, which include her rent, transport, food, and grooming. Anasema yenda limsaidia afike hiyo place amefika. Shiro.
I think this is very complicated. You know, at first I was very willing to judge her, but just now you've told me that she claims that she's the one
supported
who
him when
paid
he was
for
studying,
his
yes.
education. So I wonder how a judge would monetize that kind of investment, especially given how far he has come. Fine, she paid for his school, but I guess maybe everything that happened after he finished school was, you know, by himself. Do you know what I mean?
No, but
So-
what he says, Anita, is that
Yeah.
she's partly responsible for his success, because without the education he got, maybe he would not be here.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's a little dicey. Like, how do you monetize her, contribution to his success? Then again, when you look at things like grooming, how much is she charging kwenda salon?
Ajaka salon, lakini ameweka, unaona hiyo kwa screen hapo hivyo, entertainment 50k, medical 50k, food 50k.
50k a month medical. See, that's what most health insurance poor sana.
Yes.
Like my premiums would be about 60k for the year.
Butita, angalia hiyo list hapo hivyo kitu nataka, unaonaje?
Food 50,000. Kwani anakula ngoja entertainment 50,000.
I mean, that I understand.
Kwani movies zilipanda?
Movie ni chwani bado.
Lakini mimi nasema behind every successful man there is a woman. Behind a very, 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 very successful man,
yes,
there is a divorce. Sasa kama huyu kama wali work together ku achieve your success, wanaweza gawana. Lakini kama udema amekuja ka opportunist, si poa.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's complicated.
Yeah, it's a bit of a complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated because they already divorced. So you'd think by the time they were divorced, usually such matters have already been resolved. But for him to get to where he is now, and she says, "Wait a minute, I know you thought it was a favor, but it was not. Now I need you to pay me this amount of money." I would like to actually see how the courts are going to tackle this.
Yeah, that should be very interesting.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how they go about it.
Okay, let's leave it there for the moment. There's more to come right here on the Trending Talkers, #TTTT. I'll read some of your comments and we come back.
Yako hatutatulia in Nairobi. Happy birthday basi. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Larry, now you've reached sponsorship age. Prepare yourself for all the applications you're going to get. Anyway, just kidding. We started from a debating class and now we're on the trend. Happy birthday, Larry. I hope you live to see greater sponsorship age.
Hi! So I want to wish a happy birthday to the only human being I know who loves kitenge more than Nigerian women and is equally as dramatic. As misunderstood as you are, I really don't know where I was going with this. I'll just move on there. So Fari, Larry, I want to wish you a very happy birthday and tell you what happens as you grow older. Number one, the vitenge designs only get more complex. Just try cotton roll. Just try it. The jet lag only gets worse. So you donate to your sponsor so that Butita, Ciru and I can do the traveling for you. And then maswali kama Larry, wapi watoto becomes so frequent. But you know what? Your socks can only get happier. Your personality can only get brighter. And applications, the new ones, will only get that much more complex. But that's what you have me in your life. I teach you all the cool stuff. Yeah. So have a blessed year. We love you.
Alright, so check out your tweets on #TTTT, the Trending Talkers. Safari Shakur. Sasa, unatarajiaje msanii wa Kenya atuajwe na wao ni kuimba mimi na dandia kama mat? How can you translate that to make logic? Butita, vile ulikuwa unasema?
Business kuna topic inaitwa transport.
Dennis Mturi has Hussein. Ati wait, kuna topic inaitwa?
That's funny. Please
transport.
Go back.
Ati describe Larry Madowo's shirt in Pepe Kale's words, 50 marks. Anita, unajua Pepe Kale ni nani wewe?
I just know that you're the only man I know who loves vitenges more than Nigerian women. That's it.
Not vitenge. Unajua vitenge ni kitenge ni jina ya kitambo.
You can use all these. Call it whatever you want to call it. Larry. Call it whatever you want to call it. Try
Kamilio nikikutembelea na kufa. Haijui change tukala gani hata.
Wewe wachana na mimi. Bruce Minor. She does have lots of money. She should just get those eyebrows brought back to life.
I know, right?
Oh. And then there's thoughts.
Yeah, but that's everyone has very many thoughts about it.
Yes,
important.
Bring back the street, because this is now. If you don't know, thought is an acronym for something we can't say on national television.
That gardening implement over there.
It's a gardening. It's a gardening implement.
Check Urban Dictionary.
Wanjiko. Next time, wanafaa kutuletea exam tujaze pengo quotes za Mugabe.
The guys on a roll tonight.
And finally, entertainment 50k. Looks like she'll be bringing Jaguar to sing her lullaby.
Leave Jaguar alone. Jaguar is my friend.
But then Jaguar nakuja sahi, it's show ya 10. Unajua kuna ngoma mpya na Ilani, so wanakama hapo hivi saa 4. Usiseme hivyo. So, there's this viral video from this week. It shows a Kenyan woman being paraded in public in front of Milimani City Mall. That's in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The woman is claimed to have stolen handbags from an exhibit at the mall, but until a trap was laid for her, that's when she was found. What attracts attention in this particular story is the branding. Mimi ni mwizi kutoka Kenya. Listen.
Mwizi nimeba Milimani City. Angalia huku. Sawa mimi mwizi. Kwanza ametembea nalo hivyo hivyo. Kwa Milimani City. Sawa mimi mwizi nimeba Man City.
Zungusheni kote huyo.
Sema mimi mwizi.
Shika vizuri.
Butita, kulikuwa na mganga kutoka Tanga. Sasa ni mwizi kutoka Kenya. Makubwa haya.
First of all, kwanza kitu tunaweza sema Kenya ni brand. So ukiwa hapa we ni Larry. Ukitoka nje we ni Mkenya. Kitu unafanya kuwa careful sana. Unaweza tuchomea.
Kaudi ametuchomea.
Ametuchomea sana. Manake Watanzania wanalalamika sana, wapoteza vitu, wanapoteza fahamu, wanapoteza memory. Mwizi umekuwa mingi sana. Na ndiye afikiwe na unajua siku za mwizi hapa Kenya ni 40. Tanzania ni ngapi?
I think the 80.
But you know they don't like us very much over
there. They don't like us, yes.
They don't.
They actually think we're thieves already, to be very honest. They're normally very scared when they hear a Kenyan is coming. They hang on to their title deeds, they're very nervous. They're not sure they're going to have the property for too long or anything for that matter. So I'm sure they were like, no, you Kenyans will mess.
You have to say where you're from.
We have to say where these people are from.
And then also, did you see the placard there?
I know.
Can you like bring it back?
It's really huge.
No, there's a cartoon on the side with horns. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a Kenyan demon. What's that? What is that? Is that supposed to be a Kenyan thief? Is that what Kenyan thieves look like?
No, because a Kenyan demon. When they were done right.
This is Kenyan Satan. As in, what was that? Like, they could have just said this is a thief, but they had to add animation. What is that?
Kuiba Tanzania kwa ngumu.
Ini ngumu, brother.
It's hard small.
Okay, so when someone behaves well, according to some ingrained perceptions, we say akuna tabia kama za mzungu, si ndio? If someone gets weird behavior, the most common comparison ni akuna tabia kama za makanga. So imagine having both descriptions in the same person and not necessarily to mean behavior, but makanga mzungu. You've got to see this to believe it. She's called Lucia. She's originally Italian and she speaks perfect Sheng. Listen to her.
Okay, kama wazazi wamekubali, juu wameona nimekaa sana, na hata wakiangalia mabeshte wangu wote ni wa Mathi. Sinanga beshte ati nje ya Mathi, sinanga. Till I die. Hao wazee wanajuanga, Wamasai kwa damu yangu, hakuna mtu ataitoa.
Butita, unaona kwanza ni wakite.
Kwanza mnafanya makosa sana. Qualification of being a mzungu. You're not supposed to be a Kenyan. Hivyo yeye si mzungu. As far as amko sana. Uli jamaa fulani. Ocha kwao ni wapi?
Ocha kwao sijini wapi. Uko hivyo ni Italy.
Uko sure?
That's what she said.
That's what she says.
That's what she said.
Uko sure si hapa Kiambu hapa chini hapa. Ino hapo.
Inaweza kuwa ni huko by the way, hawezi jua.
Lakini hiyo inaonyesha at least hizi majob pia ni za kila mtu.
Kweli.
Yaani hata kama ni mzungu anaweza kuwa makanga. Na obvious tabia za makanga wa Kenya zisimshike. Wacha alete, acha nchi hiyo industry.
Wacha nikwambie, huyu ako na tabia zote za makanga wa Kenya. Wacha ni WhatsApp story. Tumeshinda tukijaribu kumtafuta kama kwa show, amekataa. Anasema ati wacha nikupigie baadaye. Sasa niko busy hivyo for like 2-3 weeks mpaka tukachana na yeye. Ni Mkenya kabisa.
In fact,
analipisha gari na dola ama ni bei ya kawaida.
I think bei ya kawaida mpaka anaje kuzishika kwa mkono.
Hizo venye notes kunjwa kwa kidole.
Shiro.
No, let me tell you, first of all, this chick is more Kenyan than me, number one.
Her Sheng is on point.
It is on point. And then number two, listen, if a Kenyan can go to India and come back with an American accent, and one is shocked.
Wait, what you are saying? What you are saying?
It is very easily understood.
It's very easy, very easy.
Very easy. First of all, be quiet. It is
Larry.
Silence. Silence, Maya. But anyway, like there are people who fika at the airport to see people off and they come back to the city center with an accent.
Okay.
So listen.
Come on, them.
Yeah. With whatever it is she was saying, I assume it was English. But yeah, if this chick has stayed in Kenya long enough until she's picked up Sheng, I think it makes us even. It makes us even. Even I can go to Italy and talk with my hands.
Yes, prego. Aya, Anita.
Larry, kwa story accent.
was really
Ngoja kwanza acha Anita bonge.
Hey, okay, Sawa, you've just been taking this so deep that I feel like I should speak in Sheng, but I don't know much of it. She
It's
knows,
all right, go
she's
ahead.
way better at Swahili and Sheng than I am. And I
Yeah.
think it's pretty cool too. So now people can stop assuming that, oh, you know, people of certain races cannot do certain things. So yeah, listen, we have a white conductor. Get used to it.
Get
You
used
can
to
do
it.
anything.
Aya, chap chap, Butita, tiko
Hapo
history
kwa story ya
accent.
accent. Mbona mtu enda majuu anarudi na accent ya majuu hapa na wazungu kuja hapa ni kama urudi na zetu pia huko. Kana na mzungu Texas ametoka Kakamega Forest. Naitwa kwa Leopard. Nimekuja natafuta sapwe.
I actually have an American friend who lived here for a while. What up, Alex? And he says things like sour.
Yeah.
Sawa,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
yes.
you pretty much sound very Kenyan
I know,
now.
I'm a
I know.
Jana, I'm a Kesho.
They even
Like,
sound more Kenyan than I do.
yeah.
Aya, fair
Wacha
enough.
mtarudi na
Let's leave it
kisapere
there.
huko.
We'll come back to conclude on that subject and a lot more. Your tweets still coming up on hashtag TTTT. Okay? See you in a bit. First of all, check out this tweet from Kaguma Simon. Atuwe Makanga anaweza kuwa tuna kinyia manjeri demo hapa mtaa amejibleach proper na wivia farasi. Uweze mini wa Kenya.
That is true.
Everything is possible in Kenya.
Anything's possible,
Smith,
yeah.
we should also flog the Wagangas, meaning the Tanzanians.
But
We
What's
don't have
up,
that time. You see,
We're
we're also
busy.
very busy people.
We're busy people.
Kenyans
Yeah.
are very
So
busy
many
people.
things
I mean, they
so
seem to
little
have a
time.
lot of time on their hands. They're
They
doing
really
Nani
demons
alikuwa
on
ndio
They even
Tanzania?
doing demons on posters.
Yeah, so really, I
Wako
mean,
na time.
we're busy.
Ambuso na backway. Larry akiendelea hivi atavakatin.
But
Was I lying, guys?
But-
Was I lying?
but why are people so rough?
I don't know, man.
Why
so
can't you be
salty.
kind?
Let's all be kind, people.
Thanks.
Eagle
It's his
Arnold.
birthday.
Ciru Muriuki, since you're verified on Twitter, unaringa sana. Kuwa mpole blue tick kufade.
Sasa, Eagle Arnold. It's okay.
Ame catch feelings out, tutakuverify.
Sawa.
Situlie.
Calm down.
Kenny. Huyo mzungu kondash reminds me of a time when I wanted to be a mzungu when I grow up. I can't. And finally, I'll get to this because I want to talk about this topic. A 28-year-old man in Shiomburu village, that's in Meru County, just is giving up his marriage and has opted to move in with a 62-year-old prophetess because of beef stew. Y'all better find better reasons to break up moving forward now that the standards have just been raised. It all started with the meal. The guy visited the prophetess's house. Alafu, vile nyama ilipikwa, he changed his mind about ever going back home. He was just like, yeah, mina ishi hapa hivi. He chose to eat beef at the prophetess's house, and now his wife has beef with that.
I see what you did there, Larry. I see what you did
Clever.
there.
This guy is 28. The prophetess is 62. Alipika nyama akasema sawa ni hivyo. Tunaishi pamoja. The
She
end.
has experience.
Let me tell
She's
you.
been cooking namas for 62 years. Okay, not technically 62
Yeah.
years. But like 42
Come out
years
of the
now.
womb.
Of course, her nyama was going to be amazing. She came out of the womb just cooking.
Alitoka tu akipika.
Yeah.
So
but-
akona experience lakini
Ako
kupika
na
nyama.
experience. So sometimes you have to understand maybe the nyama he gets at home ni maji and then nyama ina flow to chini. But anyway, it's not
Shiro.
good reason enough
No,
to
no,
leave
no.
someone.
Let me tell you, I have had stories. I've had stories in this Kenya of the various allurements
Yes.
that women use to catch a man.
Si kukaliwa
And
chapati peke yake.
some of those allurements are of the occult nature.
Oh.
For instance, this prophetess could have, put something in that meat. That guy even forgot where he lived. It's not there because of the meat. He just can't even remember how to get home.
Ati naishi kwingine.
Wait,
Butita.
At
Larry, is
where?
that a
Which
particular
home?
plate
But
of
I
meat?
live here.
No, we don't know. It's a general
Oh,
plate
okay.
of meat.
I was going to say, well, that's a good-looking plate of meat. When I move into her
You
house,
stay
it doesn't look like that at our house.
Butita.
No comment. Siongelegi mama ka end month.
Huyo ashawaipikiwa.
Kwa nini?
Anaenda
Nisahau
kutafuta nyumba
kwao.
ya mama.
Kama si end month siwezi ongelea nyama.
Aya, sawa.
Pole.
Mpoka kandi. Sasa ni mpoka peke yake.
Pole.
So Ugandan President Museveni is solely credited for the M7 challenge that has been going on since Monday. So what's happened is he stopped his presidential motorcade just to make a call by the side of the road. This is a demonstration of power. You'd relate with this because if you've ever tried to stop a bus, you're traveling to make a short call, hiyo haita happen. Lakini huyu jamaa kando ya barabara akona
You see what you did? And you have no shame. You have
kando ya barabara huyu jamaa akona meza na kiti kupiga simu.
No, I thought this was, like you said, it's a show of power. It's for, I want to make a phone call.
Yes.
Where is the chair?
Yes, bring
Where is
it.
the table?
Now.
No.
Where is the power bank? Where is the network? Bring me everything.
You guys, have you ever received a message from a woman saying, babe, we need to talk. I can guarantee you, no matter what you're doing, you will
Utasimamisha hapo.
stop and you will go outside. That's not the kind of talk you have in the car where your driver can hear you being shouted at. You need to go outside. But if you watch the full video, after all that, he still lives in a chopper. So what was the point?
It's a show of power. But like Anita said, there's a message
called we need to talk.
We need to talk. You'll stop in the middle of the servo. You don't care if the hyenas, lions, jackals. You'll stop and you will talk.
Butita.
Mseveni alikuwa anatry kupass message. Alikuwa anaambia opposition wanaweza simama kama kuna sitting president. Kama kuna sitting president. Juu Besigye alikuwa ameachiliwa siku. Si unakumbuka?
Yeah.
So alikuwa amepigiwa simu ameambiwa Besigye ameachiliwa na hata kama ni wewe unamfeel.
Yes.
Lazima asimame apige simu.
No, wait, no, Larry. It's that thing where they call you and they tell you, are you seated? No, I'm not. Grab a chair.
Yes, you might have
some news for you. He has been released.
Ati niko na story moto, hebu kaa chini nikwambia.
Yeah.
And he's, after all, he's the sitting president of Uganda.
So he
sat. He was just practicing
we'll
what he
get to Besigye
is.
later, hopefully, if we have time. But everyone has been making fun of USIU students because the announcement that they were going to demonstrate. Turns out they can actually demonstrate. I know USIU, who would have thanked it? The university students and staff took to the streets Tuesday. They were protesting over alleged grabbing of a 20-acre piece of land by a private developer, a property they claim belongs to the institution. So most of us expected a posh demo sort of thing, like throwing gemstones and iPhones, but they did actually show up on the streets, Ciru.
But isn't that a posh demo? You know me, I was in main campus for a bit.
Yes.
Us at the placards that are printed.
Yes.
Son used a printer. My
Yes.
friends. Can you see that yellow banner?
Yes.
My friends, there was planning that went to this demo. But you just see me tremble out from class and find people with twigs outside.
Apo, twendeni. Okay,
Twigs.
Anita.
This was a posh
I was
demo.
very proud of them, having gone to USIU myself. I was like, oh, please don't cause any chaos and embarrass us.
But
they did
wouldn't.
not.
They have
I was
manners.
so amused. My sister told me in the morning, Gashari, I have a presentation. That's what I'm getting ready to go for today. I was like, I thought USIU is having
a demo.
A demonstration. What are you going to school to do? She's like, oh, no, classes are continuing.
Oh.
We're still doing our classes as usual. I even have a presentation. It's called Being Civilized. University of Nairobi. Pick a tip.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa.
girl, I would not go there if I were you. Your
Butita.
mentions would be a loo.
That's the way to go. Demonstrations zinapakwa hivyo.
Hapo kabisa.
Watulie, hadi tear gas wanapakiwa wakajipake home. Yani slogan.
Okay, so, but you know, there's always a amount of shade on the internet. Check out, at the USIU exams, be like, huyu ni mnyama mgani?
I saw that one. That was unfair.
Okay, guys, just show the tweet.
The
Guys didn't expect. No, not Butita.
Not
my
Butita.
computer.
Ah, yeah.
No, you guys. You're just hating because we're civilized.
Wiki mzuri, muyaribu tu sahi.
Okay.
That's rude.
That's harsh.
That's uncharitable.
That is really harsh.
But what Anita said, you know, and the fact that everyone was involved in this demo, apparently the faculty was also involved.
Yeah.
So it means that, you know, if first of all, if all of us snap out of middle class apathy or whatever, it shows that we can actually get upset enough to take to the
Totally, you
streets.
can take your accents to the demos.
Absolutely, and
All right,
you know,
so
with my
anyway,
wet wipes.
I want to take you back to Uganda because
You've added an R to the
Besigye Uganda. Yes, I swear, I show you guys. I had somebody say, you've had the accent Jengar game. I had somebody say that this week. I can't deal with that.
What is?
Anyway, they're like sport pesar.
Yes, sir.
But I've noticed whenever Kenyans start to get an accent, they add R's to everything.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
knows
like
to the end of every word.
Prezzo's fiance was like, I don't care about his past. She's like, honey, there's no R in past. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. I'm going to take you about Besigye because he was released this week and there were cops chapaying guys on the road as he was passing because these guys used to have, you're literally beating your opponents. Ugandans.
What is it?
Nani liwaroga? I don't understand. Check out this video because they're escorting Besigye, but they're beating guys on the road. Butita.
But what is that for?
That was so unnecessary.
Yani
It was
Afrika
so
imefika hapo.
unnecessary.
Look at that, literally on the side of the road and chapa na viboko.
But let me tell you. What?
But let me tell you, Larry, if you're...
Kiboko yao.
But you know,
Yeah?
there's some very brave Ugandans there, yeah. Some
Bado
very-
kwapo, hata kichapo.
like you see, kiboko yako inakam. You see it from far. That guy is coming with
Na
that
bado
long
umekaa.
jeledi na bado nangoja nichapwe. Now you see that other innocent Ugandan, he's even looking the other way. He didn't know what happened.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's Peter chapping him. But anyway, me want to know what Besigye did to guys. Can you remember they used to be arrested right after those
I know.
elections? They
Yeah.
had the elections. Yeah, after the elections, he used to be arrested
Elections.
for chomoking from his digs.
Butita.
Now his supporters are being chapped for being on the road.
I know.
It's a problem.
Butita.
Ni sad sana. Yaani Afrika imefika hapo sasa.
Yep, that's where we're at.
Mali maisha imetufikisha.
Hapo ndo maisha imetufikisha. On the other side of the pond, you guys, you need to know this. Mick Jagger, the pop star, is having, he's got moves like Jagger. He's also got other things. Because he's 72 years old now, he's a pop star, he's got 7 children, he's having his 8th child, guess this, with a 29-year-old. There's a 43-year difference between the two of them.
43.
Basically, he's 43. He's having a child with a toddler.
It's not even a toddler.
So what you're trying to say in not so many words is this guy can leave his young wife and go to a 62-year-old woman, but the old man, okay, what am I saying? I don't even like what I'm
She's
saying.
confused.
You're saying words, but I don't understand what they
speaking,
mean.
And then I realized I don't know what I'm saying. But that's crazy. I've never understood that. Like when really young girls decide, okay, I'm totally crazy about this guy now,
face
and
it,
he's like 50 years older. Girl, what's going on?
So this 29-year-old girl is basically, she's got a sponsor, Ciru.
More or less.
No, but I don't understand. Like, okay, we could say, like, if it was someone like George Clooney getting a match, you'd be like,
he's really hot.
Amal Clooney, who's George Clooney's wife, is very accomplished. More
very
accomplished.
yeah.
Quite.
And if it was someone like Sean Connery, I mean, hey, Sean
Okay,
Connery is older
Like,
than
see,
God,
we're just
but
giving
if he
examples
hollered
of
at
older
me,
men that younger girls should go
if he
looking
hollered at
for.
me, but Mick Jagger was never handsome. Even in the 60s, he was ugly.
That's true.
Like, it's a problem.
There. He's 72, Butita.
Maybe it is moves.
Unajua Mick
She
Jagger
just
ni
likes
nani?
his
Yeah,
moves.
maybe it's his moves.
Okay, he's
got moves.
Guys, no,
Moves
this
like
is Family
Jagger.
TV. We're leaving it there, guys.
I meant dancing.
Yeah, he's
Of
a
course, I
great
meant
dancer.
that. What else you
Yeah.
meant? Guys, thank you so much, Butita, Anita, Ciru. At 10 p.m., Jaguar and Elani are coming here. I'm going to Jaguar. Jaguar and Elani unakuja. They have a new song. They're talking about a serious subject. We'll talk about that. And then the Yale Whiffin Poofs is a great a cappella group from Yale University in like the United States. They're going to be here.
chill.
And then later, Joseph Helen and Isaiah Katumwa, 2 jazz stars, both coming live. See you at 10 p.m.